On the evening of Saturday, June 17, 1815, more than 200,000 soldiers went to bed in their camps, each experiencing their own version of unrest. They knew that the next day would bring them into the midst of a historic moment, a bloody and crucial one. During the 12 years of Napoleonic Wars, Europe had been devastated, from the scorching heat of Portugal to the relentless frost of Russia. Previously, France had also fought wars in North Africa, as well as in the Middle East, with Britain as its constant enemy. The fighting took place both on land and at sea, and the toll was devastating. Millions of dead and millions displaced by the ravages of war. Sunday, June 18, 1815, would be the decisive day, the day Napoleon Bonaparte would finally meet his fate at the Battle of Waterloo. On the night of June 17th, the Anglo-Allied army led by Wellington positioned itself near a small town called Waterloo. Unbeknownst to Napoleon, Wellington had chosen this location for its defensive advantages. The terrain included easily defensible farms and a long hill that could conceal troop movements and provide protection from artillery. In addition, the advantage of the high ground gave the infantry a superior position against the attackers. Wellington had studied this terrain in detail, carefully anticipating how to use it to his advantage. While Napoleon's maneuvers had set the stage for the final confrontation, the first part of winning the Battle of Waterloo had already been achieved by Wellington's strategic planning. The fighting began around 10 a.m. when the French launched an attack on Hougoumont Farm. Historians still debate the importance of this location, but it is clear that both commanders considered it crucial. Napoleon hoped to draw British reserves away from the main line, but the stubborn British resistance had the opposite effect, immobilizing the French forces. The British held out thanks to their impeccable tactics. The infantry formed empty square formations, bayonets fixed, and muskets ready. The French horses instinctively avoided throwing themselves at the bayonets, and the cavalry became easy targets for the devastating fire of the British muskets. Wave after wave of French cavalry crashed into these formations, but each attack was repulsed. In the chaos of the battle, it is difficult to say how many waves were launched, but the result was clear. The French cavalry was exhausted, and the losses were enormous. Initially, the British appeared to give in, retreating under the pressure of the attack. But in a decisive counterattack, the Anglo-Dutch forces launched a bayonet charge that shattered the French assault. Despite their courage, the Old Guard units were defeated. Some of them refused to surrender, fighting to the end, but any hope of rallying had disappeared. The French retreat quickly turned into complete confusion. Wellington, seeing the French collapse, waved his hat in the air, signaling a general advance. The Battle of Waterloo was won, and Napoleon's rule had come to an end. Napoleon Bonaparte fled to Paris, hoping to organize a new army. But his support quickly evaporated. On June 24, 1815, he abdicated for the second time. This time, the Napoleonic era was finally over. Napoleon was exiled to the island of St. Helena, where he spent the rest of his life, dying in 1821.